All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, let's crank up the band for the victory. There we go. Giants play some solid baseball as far as pitching and defense. Get a few hits tonight, a little bit more hitting. Giants win it 2-0 behind Kyle Harrison. Sorry we were delayed, everybody. Had some technical problems. My mic my earplugs, I couldn't hear Lou, and we had to reboot. But we're here now, so the Giants win it 2-0. We'll break it all down for you guys. Make sure you check out our sponsor. Make sure you give our sponsor a call, Chapman Law Group, because Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, is there to help you guys. They're at 415-613-9483. Got that number memorized. I didn't even have it pulled up, and I got it in my head. 415-613-9483. That should be your first call when you need legal advice. You got a personal injury, you give Chapman Law Group a call. They will take care of you, and you won't regret it. Chapman Law Group. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys. Finally, Giants, score a run and then another run on a Chapman homer, and they get it done. I heard a stat tonight that was pretty alarming. Not alarming, but pretty interesting to me, that when Chapman has now like 37 home runs as a Giant, and when he hits a home run, they're like 28-9 or something like that. I can't remember. Something crazy like that. So when Chapman hits a home run, the Giants win, which tells you that either they're way ahead and he hits a home run, or he does like what he does tonight and puts up a home run with them up 1-0. But Chapman's going to have these streaks, and you enjoy it while it lasts, because it might last 2-3 weeks. It might even last a month. So Chapman has these once or twice a season, which makes his overall numbers when the end of the season come around look okay. But he was able to get the big knock tonight. Chapman on the night for the Giants, did he end up having was it one or two hits? Let me pull up the box score. The Giants had pretty good number of hits tonight. Giants actually had 11 hits, and Chapman was 2 for 2 with those hits. So that was pretty big. So Giants get 11 hits. Lou, give us your thoughts on the ball game.
I thought today Harrison really probably his best game of the year. He seemed overpowering. I don't know if he reached 98. That's what they said on TV. I think it might have been exaggerated, but his fastball was they couldn't catch up to it, which I thought was really, really good. I thought two things he did. Again, I always bring this up, was he had 2 real nice shutdown innings after they scored. And that's what good starting pitching does. The only really alarm is the Giants had more strikeouts than hits. I normally wouldn't say that, but when you get 11 hits and you still have more strikeouts, that's alarming. And I think this is now 11 games where they've scored 4 less runs. So, hey, we'll take it without Harrison. Yeah. Who knows? 2 for 12 in runners scoring position isn't the greatest, considering one of the hits was actually an infield hit. So really they were 1 for 11. But beside that, hey, first game of a road of a road 3-gamer, you get the win. Now you just got to win one of the next 2, and you get the series win, and that's what's most important. But I thought Harrison today was spectacular. I also was surprised that Melvin sort of today, I thought, managed like this was Game 7 of the World Series. He used the bullpen off a day off. Duvall 5-out save, which normally you don't see. I thought, he did a good job today. And, if
I
we're
think it
going
was
to
a
give him
4-out save, if I remember
a 4-out
right.
save. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
4-out.
4-out.
And normally he doesn't do that. And, if we're going to give Melvin a bad time when he makes mistakes, we got to praise him when he does something good. Just the 12 strikeouts. And, I think one of the things Dan has been bringing up is the baseball cards don't lie. Yaz tonight overmatched again. He cannot hit the high fastball. And I don't want him leading off anymore, especially if he's going to strike out 3 times.
He's down to 244, guys. This is where I said he's going to land. 240, maybe as high as 250. But I think Yaz settles somewhere around the 235 to 240 range. He could revert all the way back down into the 220s. Wasn't he hitting the last few years like 220? Yaz for
the one problem with Yaz over the last 2 years, he's had a problem where he goes on these strikeout streaks. Where last year at one time he was striking out 33% of the time, and you can't have that. You can't have that now. Again, we're all talking his defense is, better than average is great. But when you're leading off, you got to make contact. And he's striking out on the exact same pitch, Dan. It's sort of
I thought he might hit 240
coming
to 250 this year because he said he changed his approach and he's trying to become more of a hitter instead of going up and trying to kill it. To me, it looks like a lot of the Giants are reverting back to the way they used to play, which is, the way they've been playing their whole careers. And this is why Chapman is as streaky as he is, because he'll get into a zone, but he doesn't. If that ball's in the same zone where his swing path is, he's going to hit it. But generally, he misses.
Chapman, when he hits, it's usually the pitcher's mistakes. It's not that Chapman hit something good. It's a mistake by the pitcher. And good hitters, when a pitcher makes a mistake, you make them pay for it. So
exactly.
Take
a look at Yaz. This is kind of worrisome. Look at Yaz's batting average just since 21. 224, 214, 233, 231. And he's at 244 right now. This is prior to tonight. He dropped from 251 to 244. So he's on that trajectory right now that's going to fit right in that 230 to 215 range, right? I'm hoping he'll hit 240. That's his lifetime batting average. He's a year older. I don't see it. It's a concern to me.
And the strikeouts are concerned, Dan. I mean, he only did 99 that one year, but he only had 386 because, he gets injured a lot. That's why I'm sort of mysterious where we keep bringing him back like he's a superstar. He's just an above average player.
Yeah, tonight the Giants were, they scored only 2 runs, guys. They were 2 of 12. You see it up here, DL made it. They were 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. This issue still remains. They just ran into a team that didn't score. I'll tell you what happens generally, how a losing streak is usually broken is a great pitching performance. When a team is slumping, they need this type of performance. I mean, Kyle Harrison went 5 innings and didn't give up anything. He only gave up 1 hit. He struck out 5. He walked 3. You're playing a Marlins team that's probably a 4A team, right? I mean, let's be real. This is a team. It's got some young, good hitters, but they're gonna be a little streaky. Stowers might be a pretty decent hitter. The kid that they got from Baltimore. I love Agustin Ramirez. He didn't get any hits tonight. He was in his last 2 at-bats. He's the kid that struck out to end the game. What I love about him, Agustin Ramirez, is he's a free swinger, and he does make a lot of contact. The first pitch of the game, he almost hit out. Don't forget that. That ball went right to the wall. Yeah,
I thought today was very strange. There were some balls that I thought might have been gone, and they barely made the warning track. I don't know if usually the ball flies out of there, but with it being closed, the ball just was not going anywhere. It seemed like
they probably got
you know what I mean.
They probably got a humidor in there too, maybe. The Giants get back in their winning ways, and so now the Giants, with the win tonight, moved to 32-25. So 32-25. But just keep in mind, guys, and I'm going to keep a running tab of this as we go out through the whole season because, excuse me, I feel like I'm going to sneeze here. I have to mute my mic. When I mute, was I muted? Okay, good. My mic's working.
Yes.
If I have to sneeze, I'll just.
Dan, are we going to bring up the 8-1 and 24-24?
That's what I was talking about just before I said I was going to possibly sneeze. I'm going to bring this up, guys, all year long, just to give this a running total, see where the Giants are. Okay. Before we, if the Giants all of a sudden get hot and they win 5 in a row, and now, we say, hey, the Giants are now 37-25, hey, look at they're rolling. And then they lose a few, and then they win a few and lose a few. And I bring this thing back up and go, since 8-1, they're 37-37. I just want to point that out. If 26 games from now, they're still around 500, then that tells me that's might be who they really are. We'll see. For the Giants to not be the 500 team, they need to push this situation where they're at 7 games over 500. They need to push this back up over 10, and then they need to reach a new pinnacle. A season high, I think, would be 11 or 12. I think their season high might be 10, maybe 11. I can't remember. But I want to see 12 games over 500 at some point in July, okay? And then that tells me that they're incrementally growing. You're separating that. And then you want to see by the end of by the end of July, 12, 13 games over 500. Then by the end of August, you want to see something like 17 over 500, right? And then you get to the end of September and you're hoping you're at least 18 over 500, right? 18 over 500 puts you at 90-72 and probably secures you a playoff spot. If you're 20 over 500 and end up 91-71, I'm almost certain that's a playoff team. Okay. So they've got to, right now they're at 7 over 500, 8 minus 1 is 7. There you go. Because they're 24-24. So they've got to get that 7 to 8, 9, and then stop having it go back down to 6. Got to get it up to 10 and hold it. If it drops to 8 or 9, get it up to 11, 12. And if it drops down to 9, get it to 13. They got to start replicating this whole thing. So,
and Dan, one of the things I'm reading the comments, JB AU is bringing up a great point. We've only really talked about 3 guys that are having real bad hitting years, but he brings up Yaz is hitting 213 for the month of May.
Yeah, and somebody brought up
Jung-Hoo Lee is batting 223. So really, we have 5, maybe 6 empty holes in our lineup. That's why the Giants aren't doing well. But thank you, JB. Those are some great stats.
I thought what was interesting tonight was, and I'll pull this up, but first let us pull up this super chat from D. Almeida. He said he pointed out on Eric's stream the other night that at the time of the game 3 of the Tiger series, the previous 10 games, the Giants scored 21 runs. The Rockies had scored 24. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when a 9-45 team is outscoring you over a 10-game period. Right now, if you looked at the Rockies, they are 9-48. 9-48. They're playing 15.8% ball. That is a clip of going to win them 25 to 26 games. That's the pace they're on to win about 25, 26 games. Okay. I think they do better than that. I think they'll probably get close to 40, but they're going to push the White Sox last year for sure. This is right now an all-time historic bad team. Yeah, Mark, you're exactly right. I can remember in the 70s watching the Giants when they were on a road trip and everybody just was hitting. Darrell Evans, McCovey, Ivy, I'm trying to even remember who was playing some of the other positions, whether it was guys like Maddox or Herndon. Jack Clark, they just started all heating up and they went on this road trip and just started scoring 8-10 runs a game, and they won like 7-8 in a row, and it was just all hitting.
Hot August
And
nights. Is that when?
Yep.
Is that the year when we got Reggie Smith? You hate him as a Dodger, but you love him as a Giant.
Oh, that was 82, I think.
Yeah, just incredible
yeah.
April. I mean, incredible August.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they went like 20-12, and you could feel the vibe. So,
right. It's true. The Rockies at least are rolling with the label of being a bad team, but the Giants can't figure out where they fit. They're trying to ride the 500 line, and typically, I am so sick of the 500 stuff. It's time for the Giants to make moves. What do you hear about? Interesting. Buster Posey finally puts Marco Luciano at first base. Buster, did you get that from here? I mean, my Buster could have told you that because he's heard me talk about it for over a year. I talked about it all off season. Like, why isn't Marco Luciano down in the wherever he's from, Dominican, or I think he's from there? Why isn't he doing some winter ball at first base? Why isn't he in the fall league or doing something? Getting some reps at first base. Why isn't in spring training Marco Luciano playing first base? Oh, we got Lamont Wade. Now you're playing at first base. It's May. It's June on Sunday. And you're in the middle of the season. The guy can't play shortstop. And so you make him an outfielder. And he's trying to learn an outfield position. Now you're putting him at first base. What are you doing, Giants? Yes, I applaud you for making the move. But this is something you guys could have done and taught this kid all off season and told him, hey, we're going to maybe, make you an outfielder, work on your outfield, but also start working on first base, taking some grounders.
I thought Buster yesterday on KMBR was absolutely pathetic. I thought it was so bad what he said. He goes, yeah, guys, we definitely got to work on first base. So this is what we're doing. Dude, where you been? It's been 6 weeks, almost 2 months. I think the problem is Buster's doing the best he can, but there's, we're giving him way too many passes. He said, but he almost speaks like Robert. Yeah, but the good thing is our pitching's great. Okay, but you just said on the air that we have a problem at first base. We need to improve first base. We need to improve with runners in scoring position.
Go out and sign,
how are you going to do that?
Go out and sign Ryan O'Hearn. I mean, not sign him, trade for him. You know what? Give up 3 or 4 young arms. Make sure you keep Roop, Birdsong, Wisenhunt, and Harrison. Those 4 are, to me, I'm not trading any one of those guys unless I'm getting a controllable star. Okay? Not a rental. I'm not trading one of those guys for a rental. Okay? Ryan O'Hearn is on a lousy team. He's on the Orioles. They're going nowhere. He's 6th in all of baseball this year in OPS. He's hitting really high, but it's also, guess what? It's a free agent year. He's hitting like 340. He's never hit this high. He's never hit this well. This happens all the time in baseball and sports in general. Guys all of a sudden go, oh, gee, I might be out of a job. Yeah. So, Roberto Dizales says they have seriously botched Luciano's development. Absolutely. The Giants, the one thing I can say about this organization, the team I grew up loving, they know how to, this organization, maybe not since it's been run, but since the last 8 years or so, 7-8 years, they have really botched people's development. They just have missed, and then they have screwed up the youngest guys. Why are you screwing up your best prospects? You want to know what Luciano's value is on the trade machine? It used to be like 40. It's like 1 now. That means one. That'll buy you, one.
Box of Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And no prize.
Yeah, no prize. Exactly. So same with Matos. His value sucks. They're building up guys' value right now, like Birdsong and Roop. And if you look at the trade machine, some of these guys that are young and people are looking at, Harrison, Wisenhunt, these guys are people are noticing, hey, these guys are going to be, have some value. But Luciano, Matos, zero value now. They have no value. And look, I get it. If you didn't see it, you needed to see that, because you either had to trade him at his peak value because you knew he wasn't that good, and you were just saying, well, we're going to have to, kind of like the Dodgers do. Do you notice how many Dodger prospects get traded that are just like dumpster fires once they get to a new team? They suck. What Dodger prospect out there that is on another team now that was highly, highly rated that you look at and go, whoa? You got the catcher, Kelbert Ruiz with Washington that was over in that Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. There was a pitcher in that Dodger deal as well, and I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a blank. Josiah Gray. What's going on with Josiah Gray? I don't even see him in baseball. Look
at the Mookie Betts trade.
Yeah, Verdugo, and you got Jeter Downs. Verdugo didn't have a job this year. He's with the Braves now. Miguel Vargas, there's another one. Yeah. Name a Dodger. Gavin Lux was a big, 300 plus type hitter. Vargas, 300 hitter. I don't know what it is with the Dodgers. They pump these prospects up and then they trade them. And they get, pieces for they need at the deadline, and people, top 25 prospect. What do the Giants? Why didn't the Giants do that with Luciano or Matos or somebody?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dan, what are you going to do when Verlander comes back? I sort of like the starting five right now.
Yordan Alvarez was a Dodger. He's the only one that actually panned out. What about that? What was about the starting five, did you say?
I like the starting five right now. What are you going to do with Verlander? You're going to go six-man rotation?
I'll tell you what the Giants are going to do. They're going to bump probably Harrison because they're going to say, we don't have any lefties in the bullpen. You watch. Harrison, hopefully he comes back and gets one more start and throws another 6 innings shutout and like a 2-hitter, 1-2-hitter, and walks 1 and strikes out 9. That's what Kyle Harrison needs to do to see the Giants go like, oh crap, maybe we either go to a 6-man rotation or we just kind of spot start, figure some starts out for Verlander. I don't know.
His next start will be against San Diego on Wednesday, it says. So
yeah, losing Seager, Joseph says, was a big Dodger loss. But yeah, Seager left as a free agent. They didn't build him up and trade him. He was a legitimate. They keep the guys that are really, really good. Will Smith.
Yeah, they lost Seager for $320 million. They got Betts for 3 bums, and I think his contract's still like $70 million less. And I would want Betts instead of Seager.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with this with a 6-man rotation. I would like to see Webb pulled back a little bit so he doesn't pitch too many innings. maybe save that arm for the long haul. Let me see what we got here in the chat. Big Al. He hits dingers. Big Al. I hit dingers. Says if the Giants don't make a trade for a bat at the deadline, he will lose faith in Buster. I get it. I happen to agree. I mean, I want to see what he's got. Is he willing to be able to pull this off, an actual deal, and don't wait till July 30th when everybody else is dealing and be bold. Do what you did with Adames. Find somebody early, like O'Hearn. I would be all over O'Hearn right now.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm ready to make Casey right now the everyday first baseman, at least through the road trip. He did strike out once or twice tonight, but he made really hard contact. He had 2 balls that he really hit well and didn't have anything to show for it. But again, this is off of a right-handed pitcher, and he's showing that he can stay in there. He could hit the ball. He had a sac fly if the guy didn't get tagged out. Who was it? Bailey got tagged out at third. Let's see. Casey Schmidt, 0 for 4. Yeah, 2 strikeouts. And people say, yeah, he doesn't hit. Well, he hit the ball too hard twice. You would hope that one of them falls in for a hit and you go 1 for 4. That's what I said, Philip. He needs to start through the All-Star break. But something's coming up here with Encarnacion, probably, I would say this weekend or when they get home in San Diego. Encarnacion's going to be activated. And what are you going to do at that point? Are you going to deactivate? Are you going to send costs down? Are you going to DFA Wade if you do that? I mean, I think Wade could be a guy that just is used as what he was before, late night Lamont. Just let him pinch hit and get him some, at bats that way. And then maybe he, starts finding it. And then
he doesn't deserve to start. Let me put it that way.
No, you can't keep starting a guy. You can't. Robert DeSales says, go get Devers, O'Hearn and Hoskins. Yeah, O'Hearn and Hoskins are 2 guys I have been talking about, guys, for a couple of weeks. I don't know if Hoskins is going to be available because if I look at the actual standings right now, the Brewers are right in the thick of it in the National League Central. They're only 5.5 games out. But if you look at them in the wild card standings, in fact, why don't we look at that together? Just see what the wild card standings look like. I'll pull that up for you guys here, and we'll share that screen, and we'll look at the wild card standings. Okay, wild card standings. See, the Brewers are only 2.5 out. You look at the Orioles; they're 10 out in the American League wild card race. So, Orioles, here's the thing with the Orioles. I don't think the Orioles are going to sell right now. And if I'm the Orioles, I probably wouldn't either because you have won the division last year. You've made the playoffs the last 2 years. You've won near 100 games. This is a team that could get hot. What happens if this team over the next 30 games, they win 22? They go 22-8, and all of a sudden they're 42-44. Things all of a sudden look a lot different. And they're totally capable of going like 22-8, the Orioles. So if they get on a big streak and then they turn that momentum into more of a streak, and this is a team, look, American League, when you look at the American League, who's tearing down things at, for the wild card. You got the Twins, the Astros, the Guardians right now. Those are the three. And then you got a group of 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, really 5 if you go down to the Red Sox, that are all within 3 games or of 500 or over 500, right? And then you got the Angels who are 4 out. So you got, after the first 3, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the Angels, within 4 games of the wild card. So all those 7 teams at this point think they're in it. And that's the problem with this wild card, is it's fool's gold. Look at the National League. You got the Giants tied with the Cardinals now, as the Cardinals did lose today. So the Giants, Cardinals are tied for that 3rd spot, just a half game behind the Padres and 3 behind the Mets. But look at the next group. You got the Brewers, Reds, Diamondbacks, Braves, Nationals, and I would stop it right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Nationals are kind of borderline, but I'll keep them in there for now. But we know the Marlins, Pirates, and Rockies have 0 chance, right? But the Nationals, they're hanging around. I would say the 2 teams that are down below the Giants that are probably going to get hot and have better rosters than the Giants are definitely the Braves and the Diamondbacks. So I don't see the Cardinals hanging in there, but that's just me. I think they'll fall back at some point.
But Dan, on Baseball Tonight, they sort of talked about this. You guys got to remember who these teams are playing at the current moment. You know, I think a lot of times when you play these teams, it's when you play them. It doesn't matter if you're on the road or at home. You know, it's just one of those things. Like right now, does anybody know who the hottest team in majors is? Probably no one knows. Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tampa Bay.
You would never see about them. And they've been playing good teams, and they're finally healthy. So, you know, it's one of those things, you know, like, you know, Detroit, even though they have the best record, you know, most people don't even know Detroit's got the best record in baseball. They all think of the Yankees and stuff. It's who you play when you play. So let's just
actually, the Yankees right now are the hottest team. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. The Rays did lose earlier, but they are 8 in their last 10, 8-2. The Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10. And then in the National League, the Phillies have been pretty hot, although they've lost 2 in a row. They've 7-3 in their last 10, along with the Cubs. And in the West has been a division that's really been kind of sluggish. The Dodgers are 5-5. Padres and Giants are both 4-6, and the Diamondbacks are 3-7. And the Rockies are 0-12 out of their last 10.
And even the Dodgers made a trade last night. They picked up a reliever from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, a former, you know, young stud. So,
yeah. So, yeah. Did you catch that little joke there about the Rockies being 0-12 in their last 10?
Standard. I thought it would be 0-13, so they get the Baker dozen.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you got? Some licorice here? What are you eating there, Lou? Why don't you share that with the rest of us? What do you got?
Twizzler, little midnight
Twizzlers.
snack.
Love
Fat-free.
Twizzlers. Fat-free, yeah. Fat-free. I love the fat-free food that's full of sugar that just turns into fat, you know?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants can do.
But Dan, one of the things is, and the reason why I brought that up is we talked, was it last night or Wednesday, about the Giants' next 40 games. You know, who they play, their next, you know, through July 13th is very tough. You know, we play Colorado, but it's at Colorado where we're going to struggle. The White Sox have good pitching. They're just not winning.
I don't think they'll struggle at Colorado. I really don't. Colorado's bad this year. They're just bad. They're awful.
I know, but I heard the same thing last year after the All-Star. Don't worry, we have 4 games at Colorado. You know, but the rest of the schedule is pretty tough. You know, no easy games. So
you got some company with D. Almeida. He says, love Twizzlers. Regular licorice is the devil's work. I love Twizzlers too. Yeah, I've been cutting my sugar out, except for these, baked
How are the
dough
cookies?
I
I know.
had a little. I snuck one in tonight too.
There you go.
Yeah, the pink frosting one. In fact, I think I might just have to have another one. That's
what we like
I
to
think
hear.
it'll help the pain on my sciatica.
Understandable.
No, it
Now you
doesn't
have a
create the
reason.
inflammation. Mitchell and Ness says it's time to start using Fitz at the top of the lineup. He has constantly been one of the better hitters on the team. I know there is all this strategy with the ninth place hitter. Yeah.
He
It's
makes
kind of
contact.
when the lineup rolled around and he batted leadoff in one inning. I think he got on, stole second.
It's no good when Yaz is behind him and can't do anything.
You got to get I saw this funny little thing on what do you call it? Twitter, right? Saw this little thing tonight, and I thought to myself, this is what the Giants need, and let me share it with everybody. This is a minor league game where the dog goes up and
gets the bat.
Yeah,
love it.
Lulu. There it is. See, he puts it down. Strike. So my little
there's a couple of dogs that do that in the league. I love it.
Yeah, I gotta show you my my reply on that if it's in there. No, maybe it's not. Okay, different. I guess it's in the post. Okay, so my comment. Maybe it's in the comments. Yeah, here it is. The Giants need a dog like this to chase half their hitters that come up to the plate and either drag them back for a pinch hitter or take their bat and maybe they'll walk instead of swinging at bad pitches. The Giants might actually, a couple of the guys might actually have a better shot at getting on base without a bat, Lou. What do you think? I could think of a, but you know what? We've ripped them enough.
I know. I don't mind that they strike out. It's that they strike out and don't come close to the pitches, and they all seem to be the sort of the high fastball. It's just,
you know what? They had a pretty decent game, some guys. Let's go to our players of the game, our three. I'm going to give you my three, and you give me your three. My first, it's a little tougher tonight because we've got at least 4 or 5 players that you could pick in your top 3.
Yeah, we might not have the same. I mean, we'll probably have 1 or 2 the same, but usually,
there's at least 5 guys, minimum of 5 guys I'm looking at right now, maybe even 6. I'll say there's 6 guys tonight that had a really good game.
They earned their paychecks tonight.
Yeah,
I like it.
My number 1 player, the star of tonight's game, I am going to go. Hey, what's up, 49er Red Zone? Good to see you. I am going with Kyle Harrison, the kid from De La Salle High School, my hometown, Concord, California. Kyle Harrison gets the number 1 star. Number 2 is Matt Chapman. Goes 2 for 2. Doesn't strike out. Gets on base as a base on ball, and hits the big home run that makes it 2-0. That gives them a little breathing room. And number 3. Now I'm debating here. I could go Flores. He drove in the first round. I could go Fitzgerald, who had a big night at the plate. I could go Patrick Bailey, who showed up at the plate. You know what? That's who I'm going. And I also could go Camilo Duvall because he was outstanding. I'm going to go bring up the underdog. I am going to go with Patrick Bailey, who went 2 for 4 tonight and bat picked a guy off first base. Even though he struck out twice, he did get a couple of hits, and he picked that guy off first base. So that's my guy.
All right.
I think there's my 3. And I
like it. I like it.
I got 3 or 4 others out there, but I'll let you go.
Completely understand. I'm going to give Kyle Harrison as my first start. I thought the only problem he had is you can't walk the 8 and 9 hitters on a team where guys are batting below 200. That was like his big fault. But when it came up to it, he showed up and the fastball was unhittable. So he's my number 1 star. Number 2, Tyler Fitzgerald. I've been saying this guy. He's the only guys, he's the only guy that actually makes solid contact. Something when he hits the ball, it actually is like an explosion off his bat. And when you guys keep watching him, he's the only one. That's why I think he should lead off. I mean, Ramos hits
the ball pretty hard at times.
Oh, too. I agree there. I don't count Ramos because I expect that from him.
Yeah.
You know, but Fitzgerald just hits really, really good.
Yeah.
And then for number 3, you know, I'm going to give him just because someone different. I'm going to give Tyler Rogers because I have not seen him pitch other than the 8th inning tonight. And it was a crucial situation when he came in. He came in, did the job, 1/3 of an inning. You know, I know he doesn't get the hold of the save, but it was a huge part of the game.
Save, but he gets a hold.
Yeah. So I thought that was big. So that's going to be my big 3. I'm not going to give Chapman. I mean, Chapman, you know, should have games like this every game when he makes that much money.
I know.
So.
This guy we're praising a guy who finally gets a couple hits and gets a home run. But I've ripped him, and so I've got to give him a little love. My other guys that I really was hanging on the fence to get my really, really close to being in the top 3 was Camilo Duvall. He came in and pitched a 1 1/3 innings, struck out 2, 18 pitches, 11 strikes. His ERA is down to 1.09. He got 2 Ks. His mother was there. It was the first time she got to see him.
Never seen him.
In
a lot of pressure when that happens. And you remember what he did to his first batter? He walked, and the old the old Duvall would have said, "Oh Christ, I walked one guy, might walk a guy, hit a guy, and do something else."
So we got Harrison 1, Ramos 2. Ramos got the big. Was that a triple he got earlier tonight? I think so. Yeah. Triple. I wonder what Beck
picked all right, but he had
Rogers and Duvall. Okay. There we go. I did not have Ramos really in my top 5 or 6 tonight. I had, again, you know, Harrison, Chapman, and who did I go with? Bailey. I would have put Flores just because he got the first.
Flores was key, and you know that was incredible hitting the first inning. You know, if you watched it, I think it was a 12 pitch at bat. It was either 11 or 12. He made the pitcher work, which we don't even talk about. You know, and then what does he do? Just a little fling to center, run scores, and it was a huge hit at the time. You know, the way the Giants have been going, it was like if he wouldn't have gotten the hit there, who knows what happens.
All right. Johnny's got Harrison 1, or Chapman 1, Harrison 2, Duvall 3. Love it. Love hearing what you guys have. Fitzgerald was 3 for 4 with a stolen base. No real stellar defensive plays out there tonight. The more I watch Casey Schmidt, you know, guys, and I know you guys think I'm a Casey homer. Maybe I have a little bias there. I do think he's a very, very good defensive player, and he's going to get better. This kid, it's like having a goal. I mean, like a guy that can spear the line drives down at first base, because he can pick the grounders. He could pick the throws that are low in the dirt. He's got a rocket for an arm. If you noticed, if you watched that play where the back pick of Bailey, what did Casey do? The first thing he caught it and he swiped the glove down where he thought the guy was going to come tagging. He didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And then he did it perfect. You throw it to second because you want the runner to come back to first. If he ends up being safe, you want him to be at the bag. You don't want him to be safe at second.
Yeah.
So he threw it in time, and he throws it with such, it has such
arm.
zip. There's no wavy ball that's floating. It's just boom. And then, Fitzgerald throws it right back to him, slapped the tag down, wasn't even close.
And Dan, I want to get back to Melvin, where I thought he sort of managed. I can't remember the last time the Giants had 3 different guys steal in one game. And they did that tonight. It sort of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I mean, the Giants, it's sort of funny. The new rule went into effect last year. We all figured, oh my God, the Giants are going to be able to take advantage, and we didn't. And this is sort of a new part of the game where, it was a great, the Flores bat was incredible. I mean, that first inning, that's why when you have a pitcher and you've gone 11 pitches with him, it was 10, I thought it might have been 11, and you get that hit, that breaks the back of the pitcher, because now it's the first inning. He's already gone 20-something pitches, and if he gets out of it, it's okay. But when you get that hit in, it's huge. So it's, that was a huge, huge single. I mean, we can't give everyone a star. I mean, Flores has gotten enough this year, but that was big. And then I really enjoyed, 3 different guys all getting stolen bases, and none of them were really close. They got good jumps. So that's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Philip says, do you think Casey could have got the guy at third on the bunt? I think he could have with his rocket arm. And like you said, you understand why he didn't. It could have been a huge inning if it was safe. And
unless you're 100% sure you can get him, don't take a chance. Get the shit out.
And I think, a guy like Casey, if he misses and he's safe, it could cost him playing time. It really could. It's like, hey, what do? You throw to third, you got to get him. You got to know you're going to get him. And if he's safe, it's like, play the right percentage. No, I have been, I shouldn't say that I'm a little bit pleasantly surprised, but the more I think about it, he's got such great reflexes at third base. I mean, Lou, you were a catcher. Did you ever play some first base in your time?
I couldn't play third base. It's a big difference. I played first base a lot because it's the same thing. You're receiving a lot, and I think it's when you're used to receiving catcher, receiving at first, it's just more having your foot technique, putting your back foot on the right. I mean, your indoor back foot on the base playing first, you're used to it. The ball coming to you. Third base was a little bit different, but
I played third, short, second, first, pitched, and basically in center field. I really enjoyed playing first base when I wasn't the regular first baseman. So when I got the opportunity to play it, it's kind of a cool position because one thing about first base is you're always getting the ball when it's hit on the infield. So you're always getting a chance to catch it.
Yeah. In San Francisco, they have co-ed softball, and I played first. And everyone I just say, get the ball close to me. I'll make sure I get it.
Come on, Lou,
you're playing sort of a
you're playing co-ed softball, don't you know?
Yeah, but we had ringers. We had 3 girls that were all played for Santa Barbara that were badass, and we'd have them bat first, third, and guys were so shallow, and these girls were just. But I had 2 guys that actually, one of them played on the Budweiser softball league. You play in San Francisco.
I remember the Budweiser softball league.
Where these guys would bat fourth, and they were shortstops, the best athletes. And these guys would hit these missiles. And I don't know how the ball went that far, but they would hit it almost second base on a flight of the the field that is probably about 260 away. I mean, just shots.
I love
So
playing softball, man. I played in the greatest things was playing in tournaments because you just play like 6, 8 games in a
games. Oh yeah.
weekend.
Yep.
4 games in a day. You just keep going.
Nobody my
Softball,
age wants to play hardball anymore. So I go, okay, we'll play
yeah.
softball.
I played competitive softball until 1997. So I was 30, born in 61. What would that make me? 61,
61 to
30
now.
to 97.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank.
oh
What
36 years.
30? Yeah, and I would have kept playing, but I moved back to Connecticut, and we didn't have any. I didn't know anybody right away, and then I had to learn people,
I
and then
got it.
it just by the time I started learning all the people, there was not much. It wasn't as big back there. It was big in California, and I was in Southern California.
And Dan,
So,
until probably after my divorce, I was still probably 6'2" and still super skinny because I played so much basketball. But when I caught all the way from Cub Scouts, which probably would have been 4th or 5th grade, all the way through high school. I was that one of those guys, super skinny and caught, but it was fun. I think the only problem is once you got a little bit older, where you went against guys with metal spikes and you were the catcher. Remember, there were no rules. The buster thing wasn't there. If you were in the way, man, they would just try to tear you up. But that's how it was.
let's shall we take a look at
Mark Graves, good
foul
one.
ball?
Lips Houlihan. Did she pass away today? Taylor Swift. I'm sorry.
Should we take a little? Oh, hold on. You know what?
Hold on.
I got someone at my door. Go ahead. You take over. I'll be
No
right
problem.
back. I'll be right back.
No problem. Mark, did we lose Loretta Swift today? I didn't see that. I didn't even know she was still alive. It's been so. But yeah, Hot Lips Houlihan won. Great show, MASH. One of the all-time greats, and still even more than Who Shot JR, the biggest finale ever. In fact, what's sort of funny about that, Mark, when the MASH final finale, remember when they say goodbye and he says goodbye and the Rock's on the ground. As soon as the MASH ended on CBS, they had more bathrooms flush in the United States ever than that. But that's still the most watched one. MASH, great show. You young guys, if you guys ever want to watch one of probably the greatest top 5 of all time, MASH was it. It was there. God, we had a lot of guys that played catcher, huh? Dan's back. But yeah, boy, a lot of guys. Look at this. All these guys played catcher. You guys know it wasn't the easiest position to play, but fun. I enjoyed it. Plus, every time I tried out, there was usually maybe one other guy that you competed against. Nobody wanted to play catcher.
Hey guys, we've got a few people in the. What do we got here? Wow, didn't know the flush story. What was the flush story? Is that someone in the chat?
No. So Mark Graves said that Loretta Swift, I guess, passed away today. From MASH.
Oh, really? From MASH,
Houlihan. Yeah. The blonde. In fact, are you aware she was also in the movie beside the TV show? I think only 2 people were. Well, what it was is that was still the most watched finale of all time, the MASH finale. And then when the MASH ended on CBS, what they do is it always ends like at 58 after 58, like 9 o'clock.
Right.
58, and then they go 2 minutes commercials. As soon as that ended, they had a thing where there were more people flushing their toilets after the finale than ever in the United States. I don't know how they get those stats.
Oh, geez.
But it was in the Guinness Book World Records, which is sort of weird.
That's
just
funny.
Because it was the most watched thing. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Bottom of the 6 in LA.
Yeah, another boring game in LA.
6-5.
6-5 Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh, I got it right here on Apple TV.
Yes, I hate this Apple TV crap. Unless you have YouTube TV or Apple TV, you don't have it. You can't watch it. You can't watch the Yankees.
Yeah.
Dodgers. I mean, this should have been a game that you do like Fox Friday night, or someone would have it Friday night, not Apple TV, like ABC. Have the game tonight. Might be one of the most watched games. We got to do to bring baseball back. And you got to remember, there was no basketball and no hockey. You would have had the best of both worlds.
Yes. Hey guys, it's Friday night, and we've got something coming up on a Friday night in August that you guys need to take advantage of. If you've been watching this show or over at Giant Sports Talk Live, we've teamed up. Lou has put together an incredible package of 4 tickets, and I want to show you this little promo. It's about minute 9 seconds long, and then we'll show you what's going on with the promo. You guys need to get a chance to win 4 front row seats to a Giants game in August on a Friday night, either the 8th of August or the 29th of August. And you got to hear the promo. It's for a wonderful, wonderful cause.
And Dan, we have a special announcement once we get back. Another edition.
Another edition. Wow, another edition. Let me remove this. Let's see. Okay, we'll move this, and we'll go to the promo here about what's happening.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals, or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now, as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right. There you have it. And here's the update on the squares, guys. This is fairly accurate. Might be some more that have already been filled in, but you're seeing names already added to this. I believe they're half gone. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 9 in that row. That's 14. 7 in that one, 21. 4, 25. 4, 29. Plus 3, 32. 4, 36. 7 in that row. So 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 49 are gone, guys. And I think there's more than that may be already taken. And we're hearing that the families and the friends up in the Carson City area are looking to buy about 15 to 20 of these in the last coming day, or in the coming days. So if you guys want to get, Cliff says he purchased 46 a few nights ago. Philip, you got the GOAT for Montana. Okay, 16. Let me just see if that thing is updated. 16. Yeah, I see yours in there. And what one did
Cliff got 46, I believe.
46. Okay, so that's taken. So we know 50 of these are gone. So I'm sure Eric's got it over on his site adjust. He probably just has to come over here and adjust it on this one, I believe. Or I don't know how that works. I'm not sure. Eric kind of helps run my board in here too. So
well, Dan, I was going to wait until Hot Corner, but since we got a good crew and the Giants won, I'm going to give you what happened today.
All right. By the way, Aaron Judge is up live right now.
Oh, hold on. Everyone, hold on. Let's
See,
what Aaron
everybody's
Judge
all
does.
rise. There it goes into the corner. It's going to be a double. Aaron Judge, the guy just keeps hitting.
All right.
Wow.
So,
Great
Dan,
outcome.
today I went to one of my favorite restaurants and we're watching the Giant game. I seem to have good luck when I'm at Tommy's and watching the Giant game. And Tristan Beck seems to come in and Julio goes, "Hey, there's your boy." I said, "Yeah, he's out of his slip. He's actually
was
pitching
this?
really well tonight."
Oh,
So some guy
he
on the
didn't
bar,
walk in. His name
No.
popped up. I got
yeah, no, on TV. And then some guy goes,
Oh,
"Hey, Lou,
yeah.
I hear you doing some charity thing." And I said, "I'm not doing any charity." I said, "I gave my tickets for a charity event." And Julio comes over to me, who owns Tommy's. He's the son of the mom, and says, "What do you mean? Why didn't you ask us?" And he goes, who's helping you out? And I said, "Oh, Tony G is giving us a $50 gift certificate at Capo's." And he goes, "Fine, I'll be right back." And he walked over to his mom, came back and goes, "I will beat Tony G." So Tommy's Mexican restaurant on 24th and Gary is going to give us a $50 gift certificate and a free pitcher of margaritas. So he wants to outdo Tony. So now,
you know what is going to happen here? If I win the tickets, I'm going to put it back up
the
in
food.
I'm going to put it back in so someone else can get it. But I may just have to take the Tommy's.
So you get $50 gift certificate for Tommy's and a free pitcher of margaritas. Usually the pitchers run about $35, $40. So we've now added 2 meals. Obviously, you can't do them both, but for 20, look at it. For $20, you get 4 tickets, you get 2 gift certificates of $50, and with one of the certificates, it also includes a pitcher of margaritas. I don't know how much more I can do, Dan. I mean, if you only have 3 like last year, I'll go with you and I'll buy the first
think you
round.
need to stop there. I think you need to stop there. And you know what? I wish I can show this video. It's from MLB. We'll get a little strike on it, though. Shoot. I got an interesting video here, guys, on YouTube. And it's a foul ball that went right into Lou's seats. A screamer before the net was up.
It's YouTube that I sent it to you. It wasn't MLB.
It's the MLB YouTube channel, though. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. It's their MLB channel. And it looks like Denard Span was batting.
It was. And this is why they now have the nets, to give you a little tease.
I wonder if I could play this. Maybe.
I thought we played it before.
Well, we're monetized. We'll probably, maybe I can, yeah, Lou is like a game show host, but there's more. You know what? I'm going to show this because Lou is a younger version of Lou. You know what? We'll just edit it out. This is pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at.
It's about 2.5 minutes long because they show a couple things with it.
Here we go, guys. Watch this. And Lou gets a baseball and gives it up to the girl. Who threw the ball to you?
The third baseman.
Oh.
Because it went from
Toronto.
Show it, and then it went on the field.
Oh, it hit her and then went on to
yeah.
Okay, here we go, guys. I hope the Giants did something for her, like.
So, Dan, this is where it got a little crazy. So, as you see, she got hit. The ball hit her. The ball reflected from her onto the field. Okay. Right. She stood up, gave the thumbs up. Everything was okay. but that's all adrenaline. She stood up, and on her way down, after that, she collapsed. And paramedics, where we sat, rushed her, picked her up, and took her underground into the dugout because obviously the adrenaline something, and she literally just went down, literally passed out, literally. And where we are, we have sort of a handicap thing. They now, after this, have a doctor or a paramedic there because they didn't have one. It was just, people tried to help her out. Then 2 days later, where my seats are, there's seats 1, 2, and 3. If you're in seat 1, you have the Giants dugout or you have the dugout itself. There was a foul ball off the dugout that then hit a lady. And if you say you get a 90-mile-an-hour pitch and it goes off the bat, then hits a dugout and then hits you, it's got to be, 110 miles an hour? To make a long story short, her nose was by her ear. It was an ugly-looking thing. And if you ever look at a baseball ticket, on the very back of the ticket, most people don't even read it, right, but that's there so the baseball people and the home field are not in charge if somebody gets injured. And right, every major league now has the nets. Because not only was it affected here, there was a lady in Boston that got really bad. Yeah. And it was like week after week after week. So,
well, and the crazy thing is the players just the guys that hit those balls, they're
in shock. Oh my God. Yeah.
It affects that. I mean, that girl, if that hit her head, she could have died.
Yeah.
That thing was, it just missed.
And that's a lefty off a lefty. It's got to be 100 miles an hour?
Or it hit her here. And her head, obviously shoulder to, my God.
It got hit there and then it went on the field to show you.
Yeah. Wow. That, that's just awful. So, man. Well, hopefully she got a little merchandise from the Giants, and
that's why you got to pay attention. Now, you got a little thing, but what they did is 2 years ago when they put the netting up, or 3 years ago, the netting was connected to right in front of my seat. So it sort of sucked where I couldn't even look into the dugout. Now they moved it 8 feet back. So now, we still get balls. We got a ball the other night. We get a lot of players.
What did they move back? The net or
the net itself? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the net now is actually in front of where we actually have the camera center. So we have about 8 guys. All they do is work for MLB, Sports Illustrated, the papers, and they just take photos.
Wow.
And they're freelance photographers because they have all the camera people on the other side.
Yeah.
So,
well, guys, we got a game tomorrow. Giants a little
buy
earlier.
some squares. You squares.
Get some squares. There we go. Yes, get some squares. What time's the ball game tomorrow? I think it's a 1:10 game. Our time here.
Let me take a look.
I got it right here.
I know it's a strange time.
Yes.
Yeah, 1:10 our time.
1:10. So we'll come on at 8 tomorrow night. And wait a minute.
Right after the NBA game?
Yeah, that's the NBA game tomorrow.
6.
That's gonna be good. Cleveland. What time does it start?
Knicks and Indy at I think 5:15.
Let me take a look. Let's make sure because
5:30.
Hopefully it's at 5:30. Oh, 5 o'clock tomorrow.
5
okay,
o'clock.
so it'll end about 7:30. So we'll come on at 8 tomorrow night, guys. And hopefully the Giants do it again.
And you saw who's pitching for us tomorrow?
Robbie Ray. There we go. Let's get her done. Let's get the victory. Robbie Ray goes to the mound tomorrow. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We've got, again, 1:10 tomorrow. So enjoy your Saturday afternoon, everybody. And we will hopefully get this winning. Giants got to sweep here. They sweep this, and then you feel pretty good about the road trip because then you went 5-4.
Yeah, because you're coming home against 2 good teams, Padres and Braves.
Giants just they need to play more they got a hit with runners in scoring position. The hitting is still an issue tonight. 2 runs. Yeah, they got 11 hits, but Philip wants one of those. Can we get one of those? Hold on. Can we get one of those, Lou? Hold on here. Let me. There we go. Go ahead.
Well, I really like this girl. Then have her train you. Let me tell you something, Rock. Women weaken legs. Yo, Adrian.
All right.
The great Burgess Meredith,
Yes.
aka the Penguin.
Yes, there we go. Listen to this. We're getting some. We got to keep it fair. We're gonna get some wrenches. Oh wow, here we go. Oh man. Well, guys, have a great rest of your
Hit
Friday
the like
night.
and subscribe, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to hit
Tell
that
people-
like, please. Please hit the like on the way
subscribe,
out.
and tell people about the squares.
Yeah, let me. My music's gonna run again. I forgot to turn it off. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. I got to.
Yeah, Johnny, we got 11 hits, but we also struck out 12 times.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, do hit that like button. It really does help the algorithms. And don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends. We got some other things coming. We got a giveaway once we hit over 5,000 subs. We're going to get a sign. You're going to get, giveaway Elliot Ramos signed jersey. That's worth something. That'll be nice. All right, guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow at 8. Take care.